Okay, then let me think about this. Maybe I can sort them anyway. And when I test the collisions, I could do something. If this is neutral, the team is neutral, then you don't check any collisions whatsoever. I could even use team as some kind of layer. Yeah. Could put them in this. Yeah, okay, let's put them in a layer. We don't need that right now. So this is the unit. Okay, this unit, where is the logic happening actually? Animation is done the unit itself should also have animations. So we have a Sprite Instance. Actually, the unit should animate, or it should have some kind of path when it moves on the screen, some kind of procedural movement. Who is controlling the movement of the unit? Then we should have some update function, and then some kind of unit mover, unit controller. Yeah, probably. Okay, then. And we can assign a unit controller. Yeah, that should do it. And let's do it like this. Unit controller. This will. And we should probably also define it here. And the unit controller should give a virtual function void or update delta time between two frames. The time between two frames. So this should always be declared. Unit controller on update, but update what? The unit. What unit to update? Alright. That should be fine for now. And here we can have like an animation controlling the position, scale, rotation, or some other procedural path. Alright, this is the unit. What else? Animation. Animation should be something simple, just some frames. Structure animation key. A key of the animation. Let me see. We can do it in many ways, the animation key, but let's see. Animation. Which is the same. Just a simple array. I could have like a vec2 to animate position, rotation, scale, and also hidden or visible, or just animate the actual have it simpler. Let me think. To animate just the components of just some float value. Okay, let's do it like this. Value time should be also a float. This is from the one is normalized. The value is 0. Okay. Animation key, keys. Pointer. I'm not doing it with vector because probably will not create animations on the fly. Maybe there could be some, but they will probably be baked, already created in the JSON files. Maybe in the editor, we'll see if we'll have an editor. So the key count, then this is pretty much an animation. Okay, and then we can have just simple stuff like get interpolate or something like that. F32 the value, animate at time, and this should animate it. I return as the value at that specific time, interpolated between two frames. But yes, so we have that, but we also have animation instances because they will run specifically for an animation. So it will have like the animation, what animation is referring to, no null, and it will have the f32 time, the current time of the animation, and it will have the f32 speed of the animation, 1.0. If it's lower than 1, it will be slower. If it's bigger than 1, greater than 1, it will be faster. Alright, animation, the time, the speed. Okay, for the parameters, and also what kind of animation. It's like in the sprite type. Maybe I should just this is interesting. It's almost the same, like, yeah, but we can use it. It's the same almost. Animation. But should I put it here in the animation asset itself, or I should put it in the animation instance? Yeah, I think instance it's better, or not. So animation instance will be used in the gameplay, and we could also have yeah, I don't know, because the animation instance will change the time, so yeah, it should be here. The type, normal, also repeat count, yeah, cannot know, means infinite. Okay, animation instance, that should be it. So we need to implement this, include animation, can just use it here, and we will have animate, alrighty. And how the hell do we animate? Yeah. We'll get there. Let's just put some to do. So we have animation key, we have animation, and an animation instance. That should be okay. unit, the units also can have animations attached to them, and you could for example set the current animation, but it should be in the unit definition maybe. Let me think about this. So where do we want the animations of the units to stay in? Also, let's, yeah, very interesting here. We could even start to define the JSON sample for the animation. So how would our we need some sample files for the assets, for the data, how they will look, how a sprite will be defined, because we'll do it data driven. So it should have like sample JSON. So a sprite. A sprite is what? Is a collection of images. So we'll have something like images, image count, okay, animations, the images and animations. That's a sprite. So images, let's do it like this. The images will be an array of images, and they should stay in sprites, but they can stay in their folder. For example, sample should be relative to the JSON file. Sample frame 1. I will not use PNG because we will just use PNG all over the place. Or we could also use GIF, but because we have a paletted, but PNG should be fine. So let's say that we have like 3 frames for the sprite. So this is the images, and then we'll have the animations. And the animations are objects which will have the start image index. We should just code it like that, or just start at 0 for length 3 frames. The type optional, but it can be normal. It can be also some kind of index like 0, 1 or whatever. But we can just parse it and set it to the appropriate enum. There are not many. And the repeat count. Repeat. It's 0 for now. So this is one animation. We could name them actually. Should we name them? because if we edit the animations, when you use the animations to play it, we need a name for the animation. Okay, name default. So this would be a sprite. Let's actually name them sample sprite. And we would have the sample sprite folder with all the frames. Let's just make some. Actually, we could have the frames in a single file, in a single PNG, or even in the whole atlas can be, but I don't know about that. I think it's easier to edit a single sprite. Actually, not a bad idea. So the sprite will always have the same size, right? So we don't need many files here. Could be just simple like this image, or it can be even better. Actually, yeah, it can be even like this, and we can have like the actual sprite in a single file, like in a row. For example, we can create one, and if our sprite is like it has 3 frames. How much is 3 frames? Let's just say that it has like 64 by 64, and 3 frames is like 192, right? Yeah, okay, and 64. So we'll basically put all the frames in here. Let's do this. 64, 64, not inch unit. How do you change that? And I'll do it again. New. Units and rulers. No pixel, everything is pixel. Sorry, I'm from Europe. Yeah, okay, so pixels 64. So you'll have like this. So this will be 1 frame. 2 frames. 3 frames. 1. should be red RGB. Okay, so this is one frame. I could like draw something here. One. Where's two? So what the heck? What am I missing here? Okay, two. Is this one? Yeah, I mixed it up. Anyway, this is. Come on. Why is this not visible? What the heck did I do? Ah, yeah, okay. Okay, so this is 3. Come on. I don't know what I did. Okay, so this is number 3. Why is not drawing? Ah, crap, yeah. It's called overlay stuff. Can we rasterize it or something? Yeah, okay. This is number 3. And number 2. And number 1. Okay. Alright. So because we know the height, we will conclude, extrapolate that the width is the same, so we'll just grab them from the same file. Let's save it. Actually, we should also save it with some transparency or something like that. Can use this mode pencil, and we should opacity full. We will not have transparency, so it should be like really like this. Okay, just to see if it works with transparency. Alright, save as data sprites png sample sprite, and we can also save this PSD file in the assets just as sample sprite if we want to modify them later on. Alright, that should be it for that first sprite. So basically it will have 3 images inside this sprite, and you can have animations and so on. Also, we could also have it in a matrix with rows and columns. Why? Now, yeah, that it's also interesting. Yeah, that could be it. So we should have like the sprite has size, right? Size is 64. So when we load from the sprite, it will divide the width and the height, and it will find out how many columns and rows it has. So it will go like this from left to right and from top to bottom to define the frames of the animation. So we can actually do it right now. Let's make it bigger, 192, and now we have now we have another. I could copy them or something like that, or not. Yeah, where is the ruler? Could have this 4 128. Sorry, but my Photoshop skills are not very stellar. But we can do it like this for now. Okay. And we could copy them or something like that, or just write some numbers. Just to get the idea. 4, 5, 6. So the loader will just load all the frames like this. Knowing the size of the width, I don't know, size should not be confunded. Yeah, just width should be enough. Or frame width, I don't know. Frame width. So the loader will just load them from the PNG file. It's okay here. So basically an atlas image, we'll get to that when we'll write the atlas. Because it might be it gets a bit complicated. Maybe the atlas will want to place the each individual image optimized in other places, not as a group in the big atlas. But yeah, we'll see. Alright. So we have a sample sprite. Let's save it. Okay. It has the frame width 64 and it has animations from 0 to 3. But let's change that because we have 9 animations. That's it. 9 length. We have 9 frames of animations, or of the animation, the default one. Type is normal and repeat is infinite. Good. Okay, how we declare an unit? Sample unit. Sample unit. That's why we also need maybe to be an unit instance or something like that, or not. Let's do it like this for now. Unit template. It's basically what we load from the JSON file, the definition, whatever. So the unit template, it has a vector of the same actually, but I still have to be like this. Because it's fixed here. We load it from file. And we have this duplicated because when you create a new unit, you create it from a template. And the unit template has also sprite instances by default arranged in positions, rotation, whatever. And you basically make a new clone of the template and just copy over the sprite instance information. And you can modify them by animations or whatever. So it's okay if we have null pointer for now. Sprite instance count. What else? Yeah, it will have also children, but okay, children unit template, because we have templates or not. Wait. Good question. Actually, yeah. Actually, I start doing it. So the unit, what does it have? Sprite instances. Just an array of sprite instances. And the sprite instance, what? The sprite itself. Sprite. The one found in sprites. Should we have the full path or just the name of the sprite? Good question. It's easier to load, but yeah, we could do that. Set some root folder for the sprites because we will not have another folder. Yeah, I'll just do it like this. So this will be the simple name because it will load the PNG, it will load the JSON file. by the same, they must have the same name to, it's probably better. I don't think there will be sharing of the PNG between multiple sprites. Let's say the PNG. Alright. Yeah, I don't think it will be shared among multiple sprites because you can just define the animations and the frame width in a single file. Alright, the sprite. This is the sprite instance of this sprite. What else do we have? Position, scale, rotation, and the animation index. Position. Position. The position relative to the unit itself. Yeah, we could put it at 0. 0, 0. The scale. So if they are missing, they will be considered default 1, 1. We can stretch it in both directions. Actually, should we stretch it in both directions? Is our hardware capable of that? Our virtual hardware? Yeah, probably. Rotation 0. And animation index. Or name. I think we want a name for the or not. Yeah, I don't know. If we modify the animation index of the sprite. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably should have a name for the animations also. If you modify the sprites, if you move the frames, it will probably destroy the animation index. Actually have, okay. Animation default. But we should also store the animation name. Here we have a map or unordered map, but I'll just put it here. And we have to use it. Okay. Alright, so we have the sprite instances of the unit. We just have one. For the gameplay, you could also name those instances, give them a name. So yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. For example, you want to find a specific sprite instance by name in your code, like the left wing or something like that. maybe you want to destroy it, or yeah, I think we could name this also. Names are good instead of indices or whatever. I don't know. Body. This is the body of the unit. Okay, so name body of the instance. So the instance has a name. Yes. Include string. So we have a name for the instance also. And animation index. But we also actually I will resolve this animation index from the name from here when I load the unit template. Okay, what else does the unit template have? Children. So basically the unit itself can have also other units as children, but we have a template, so there should be unit templates. Okay, so we have children should be named ones. So I'm basically keeping them in an array to keep ordering, because I could use the name itself as a key, but I want to keep ordering when I render them, the sprite instances, so you can just rearrange them if you want. Okay, and probably same for the children. The problem is actually not a problem, but can I have actually, yeah, should be external. So a children can be a internal template or external. How do we do that? Because, for example, if I want to have like some weapons, should they be defined inside the same file, or should I load them like this? Like, I don't know. So if it's not an object, it's external, so it will load from like weapon one. The children units. Or if it's an object, but I should have the same, or not. I don't remember how is it for JSON. If I have like this, I can repeat what I did here for my child unit template. Like this. But it can get pretty big. I wonder, should I put it external? Probably external is better. but then I will also need positioning and so on. Let me see. Okay, so if I do it external, it will be like this. So it will be, okay, name, it will be like, I don't know, weapon left, unit, template, weapon, and of course I need positioning for this. The team will be inherited. Let's just take it out. Team. Team position scale has shadows. Wait a second. We are trying to do something here, but okay. The unit. So these two are modifiables. The team is not really modifiable, so we could take it out here. The position, rotation, and scale, yes, modifiable. Shadows. Those can modify if we have like the backgrounds cannot receive shadow, you can turn it off, for example. Also the scale of the shadow, that would be a bit gameplay side, dynamic. So I'll leave these here, the scale, the shadow stuff. This hit, yes, hit tint color is also per instance. Also the controller. The controller is gameplay in game. Okay, so and these are the ones from the file. So, okay, so we have the name of the child unit template, the unit template from where we load it, position, scale, rotation, and team. But the team probably will be the team. It's optional. All the children will be will inherit the team actually, right? Yeah, it's okay. Team can be here. Enemy. And we can also have these, but we don't need for the root unit. The positioning is, it will be done by the logic code. Okay, so this is the weapon left, and we can also have the same weapon, the same template, but we can do something interesting. We can mirror it, so we have like the left weapon and the right weapon, like two hands. So this is our weapon unit for the left side, the right side, and the left side. And the scale will be with minus, so we mirror it, we flip it basically. And all the animations and maybe the subunits, the children units of the weapon unit will be, everything will be inherited, the scale, it will be mirrored, flipped. So you have like when they shoot or animate, they will do like this. The paths of the weapons will be mirrored, so it's really cool feature. So I have a body and two weapons on the sides for now. And the controller is set in the, I wouldn't, maybe I could, but we'll get there. We will set it, I don't know, something like this. Controller by name. Boss 1. And we'll have also controllers, unit controllers. Okay. So this is a unit template. Alright. I have a unit template, we have the unit, and we want to, actually no, we don't want to, or maybe I could just copy it when I instantiate a unit. I just copy the theme also from the template itself, and that's it. Maybe you want to change it in gameplay, I don't know. Make the unit from enemy to neutral or something like that. Actually, it could be interesting to, when something is destroyed, I want to keep it in the scene, but I want to make it neutral because it's dead, so I don't collide with it. Yeah, that should be it. But it's interesting. Yeah, we'll see. If something is dead, then I don't want to collide with it, but I should also keep my player ship on top of it. So that's the problem with layers. Yeah. Anyway, let's save all. So we have the unit template from which to load, the unit controller, animation instances, animation key instance. Okay. So unit, the unit also will have an animation, the unit template we have an animation of its position, rotation, scale. So we'll have like animation, animation, just that animation. Okay, so we'll have also here, if you want to animate it, animations. Sprite animation are a different thing. They just animate between the frames of the sprite, and the unit animations are a different thing. They animate the position, rotation, and scale, and visibility. Actually, let's also put visibility. In here, because visible, set animation, also visible. Okay, and have animation, actually a set of animations. You could do it for each parameter, like position, because you have a float, we animate each parameter. I just call it anim position, anim position, anim scale, anim scale y, anim rotation. What else? We can animate the visibility. So these are the animations we can do on the unit. I don't think there is anything else. Alright, that's pretty much for the animation.